Well. The Pittsburgh Steelers are headed to the playoffs because the Jacksonville Jaguars slumped. They were 8-3. They were in control of their own destiny, and they choked. The only difference is I'm a first aid responder at my job on the side, and I don't got to perform CPR on him. So Jacksonville, I'm going to say this, Deans, as a Steeler fan. You can sincerely go fuck yourselves. Not because you got this team an incredibly undeserved playoff spot, but because you choked away your season, you fucked with our towel, you disrespected us, and you pulled a 2008-2009 Titans on yourselves, and now you get to sit down and watch this frickin' team who has no business even being in the playoffs, let alone even sniffing them, play one extra week because you couldn't beat the trash-ass Titans like we did. What's going on, everybody? I am Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. So yeah, the Steelers are headed to the playoffs. I know. I don't sound enthusiastic. I don't sound excited. Why's that? Because I'm not getting my hopes up. Okay? Like I said, I just don't think this team deserves the playoffs. I don't think they have business being in the playoffs. But, you know, they won last night. They got the help they needed. Now tonight has no bearing on us at all because the Bills also clinched a playoff spot with Jacksonville losing. So now Buffalo can afford to lose tonight. Not that they should lose tonight because they're going to be playing to clinch the AFC East. The winner of that game clinches the AFC East. And I'm mentioning that game because now it comes down to who Steeler fans want to play in the wild card. We're more likely going to get the 7th seed, I believe. Houston won last night over Indianapolis. They have now clinched the AFC South. So Texans fans, shout out to yinz, guys. You had a phenomenal season this year. CJ Stroud's an incredible story. And I'm pulling for you hard to beat the Browns next week. I really do hope that you get the job done over Cleveland. But we'll see how it goes there. I hope that the Texans really do finish it up. DeMeco Ryans, I think you got to put him in Coach of the Year. CJ Stroud, if he does not get Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't know what to say. But enough about that. It's time to focus on who I think would be a better matchup for the Steelers in the wild card. Not that I think that we're going to win in the wild card, because Steeler fans, let's be honest with yourselves, okay? Yeah, I know we're going to the playoffs. Yeah, I know we're going to be playing one extra game. But let me tell you, okay? I'm not sitting down here because I have an agenda. I'm not sitting down here because I'm negative. I'm not negative at all. All I'm doing is giving you my true feelings and my honest opinion. What you see is what you get from me, okay? This is not scripted. This is not rehearsed. This is pure, authentic feelings and thoughts about what I have right now. Okay? But be honest with yourselves. Between Buffalo and Miami, two prolific offenses, two teams that are more than capable of taking advantage of a busted up defense. Even if our defense wasn't busted up, they can take advantage of it. Who would you want to play more? I would think, as the 7th seed, I would think we would have a better shot at Miami, because Buffalo, I think, is a terrible matchup for us, because the Bills are coming to the playoffs red hot. They had that slump mid-season, and now they've won 5 in a row entering tonight's matchup. So it takes a little bit of excitement, you can say, out of tonight's matchup, because now if Buffalo loses, they're still going to be a wild card team. But because Jacksonville lost, they're now eliminated from contention. And if Jacksonville won today and Buffalo lost tonight, then that would actually eliminate the Bills from contention. But Buffalo is a team that I would not want to face in the playoffs. They have the experience. They have the firepower with offense. And like I said, they got a lot of momentum going into the playoffs. I said this in my stream last night if you tuned in, okay? I would not want to play Buffalo in the playoffs. And, you know, for Bills fans, I think this has to be not that I think every playoff game is not big, but this has to be one of, if not the biggest game of Josh Allen's career in the playoffs. Because he has to prove to us, in my opinion, he has to prove to everybody that he's an elite quarterback and that he's capable of taking the Bills on a playoff run. I like Josh Allen. I think he's a good quarterback. I also think he's very overrated at the same time because he does turn the ball over a lot, which I think is one thing that we should take advantage of if we do end up meeting the Bills in the playoffs. We forced 2 turnovers last night against the Ravens. So I think the defense has to come up with some turnovers on Josh Allen, make him force the passes. So I think that's the one thing that is really holding Josh Allen back of being a truly elite quarterback and a truly great quarterback, in my opinion, is that he does have a turnover problem. But as a whole, I would feel way more uncomfortable going up against Buffalo. Because I also know at the back of my mind, while their defense is aging and their defense is filled with a lot of veterans, that it's still a good defense. And this is going to be Mason Rudolph's first playoff game of his career. And having to go up against a defense like that, I just don't know how he's going to be able to fare against it. I would think Miami would be the better matchup for us. So I think Steeler fans should still be pulling for the Dolphins tonight. Because that's who I think we would have a better chance at in the playoffs. Because Miami is banged up. They are missing a lot of key starters. And I think that is something that the Steelers really got to take advantage of. So it's like on the other side of the coin. You know? I think Miami would be a better matchup for us. Even though, let's face it, I really don't want to go up against that offense that Miami has. They are very capable of putting up a lot of points on the board. They're very explosive with their offense. But at the same time, can you truly trust the Dolphins when it comes to playing teams that are above 500? And like it or not, this team finished 10-7. So I think, in my opinion, Miami would be a better matchup for us. And even if, and look guys, I mean, I know, I'm sitting down here sounding unenthusiastic, okay? Because honestly, this is the least excited I've been about a Steelers playoff game in my entire fandom. I'm just not expecting anything. So it's like, I can't get upset and I can't get mad if we lose next week because I'm not expecting this team to go on a deep playoff run. Simply just look at Mike Tomlin's last 4 playoff games if you want to know how I really think that they're going to do. Okay? Literally, the only thing that separates this season from last season is the fact that the Steelers are playing a playoff game. That's it. And that Tomlin took 2 weeks to make the right change at QB when he should have done that on my birthday a month ago. All right? That's all I'm saying. I know you like saying I'm negative. I know you like saying that I'm complaining. I am not doing any one of those things. I am sitting down here and I'm as honest as it gets. I'm as blunt and assertive as it gets. And I post no BS on this channel. I just don't see this team making a deep playoff run. I hope to God I'm wrong. I hope to God that we do make a deep playoff run. And if that does happen, I got no problem coming on here admitting I was wrong. I can do that. For God's sake, I'm a former TTC member. I ate crow all the time. I got no problem admitting I was wrong. But with this team, the injuries we have, TJ is going to miss next week because he has an MCL sprain, they came out and said. He's most likely going to miss next week. Mason Rudolph not having any playoff experience. A lot of players on this team, this is their first playoff game that they'll be playing. I just don't see it happening. And especially with Mike Tomlin going up against, again, good teams. It's happened all season. Week 1 against the 49ers. Week 4 against Houston. Even though Jacksonville did miss the playoffs, I mean, there are no slouches. Well, I mean, they're a slouch now because they finished the season 1-5. But still, you can't sleep on Jacksonville. He lost to Cleveland. And Indianapolis, even though they missed the playoffs, you can't take them lightly either. You know, man, it's just, I don't know exactly how to feel. I'm just very indifferent. Of course, I'm going to be sitting down here more likely than not. Of course, depending on when the game is. I mean, can the game at least be on Sunday night? Or at the very least on late Sunday afternoon around this time next Sunday? Can the game be at least at that time? So that way I don't have to worry about rushing in a stream or, you know, filling in a workout with my personal life. Can the game at least be on either late Sunday afternoon or late Saturday night? Or early Saturday, late Saturday afternoon, early Saturday night. Can at least be that time. That's all I'm asking. But yeah, man, we're going to the playoffs. Again, I mean, I just don't know what to feel. I don't know if I should be excited. I don't know if I should be, you know, I don't know if I should sit down here and be like, well, it's just going to be another one and done, even though I am more objective than subjective on this channel. I really do think with more of my mind than I do with my heart on this channel. But Steeler fans, look, I know you guys are mad at me. I know you guys are pissed off at me. I know you want to punch a hole through your computer screen. I know you want to throw your iPhone in the Allegheny. But come on, guys. You know as well as I do the track record that Mike Tomlin has when it comes to the playoffs. If we lose next week, okay? Literally the only thing that separates this season from last season is the fact that we played a playoff game. That's it. This is pending. This already is the longest playoff win drought that the Steelers have had since before Franco's immaculate reception. All right? All I'm saying is I'm just not getting my hopes up. Who knows? I could be completely wrong, and I hope I am wrong. You think I like sitting down here watching this team get humiliated? You think I like watching this team get destroyed? I don't. But what I am asking is that for once, just for once, something else happens. And you can't go in there, regardless if it is Buffalo or if it is Miami, you can't go in there playing soft on defense. If Mike Tomlin is this defensive mastermind that a lot of people say that he is, and he gets the most out of his defensive players, then he would be able to get the most out of this defense minus TJ Watt. But I already know what the narrative is going to be if we lose. Well, TJ Watt wasn't in there. Well, this team, it's Mason Rudolph's first playoff game. You just have an axe to grind. Oh, really? So if Mason Rudolph shows that, he has a bad playoff game and he plays poorly and throws like 3 interceptions, that's somehow TJ Watt's fault. If Mike Tomlin has more bad clock management, that's somehow TJ Watt's fault. I mean, sure, TJ Watt not being in there certainly doesn't help us. But last I checked, this is a 53-man roster. And everyone has to pull in their weight. Which is why Mark Robinson has to do well. Which is why Miles Jack has to do well. And that's why this entire defensive line and this linebacking core, even Alex Highsmith, this is where you make your big bucks, boy. This is where you do it. It starts next week. If we win next week, we could be playing the Ravens again soon. And this time there aren't going to be any excuses because their starters are going to be in. But all I'm saying is, I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm just taking it as it goes. I don't know exactly how to feel. I'll see when we play. I'll see when the schedules come out. But yeah, one thing's for sure. Jacksonville, we get the last laugh, bitch. And you get to watch this team be in the playoffs. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I am Mac, checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.